This is the farthest way of home I've ever been.
Hi, welcome back to Lotro Talk, where real players give you real talk. Today we are going over the questions and answers that they released for Helm's Deep, giving us a little bit more insight on what to expect with the new expansion. My name's Tal, and I'm joined here with my co-host Berenn, and we selected a couple choice questions and answers. We're not going to go over all of them, but we will put a link down in the comments so you guys can check it out for yourselves. So let's just get right into it, shall we?
So the first question that we thought would be pretty important was actually question 1. And the question was, how will loot and rewards be handled in the context of epic battles? Will there be token drops with a barter system or specific gear dropped for a different size battle? The answer, of course, was the overall system keeps track separately for each quality of metal, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, how many medals you've earned, with bonuses being added for earning them in group spaces, earning them on the main objective, and earning them for the first time. Each of those are represented by a bar within the battle for Helm's Deep UI. When a bar fills based on your selection, you will either get a classic specific piece of set jewelry or of quality relating to the metal quality. You will get some points towards filling the next quality bar. We refer to that option internally as turning pennies into dollars. The exception to this is gold to platinum, where up converting is not allowed. Platinum rewards must be earned from completing objectives as platinum.
So it sounds like the platinum tokens are probably going to be the end game gear. I'm assuming that's what it sounds like.
This is what it looks like. I don't know. I guess this fulfills the roles of both the casual and the hardcore gamer, I would think, because a hardcore gamer would be trying to go for the platinum, whereas casual would just might be content with the gold. But would this be affecting the hardcore gamers later on with trying to get people from lower tier?
In an interview with one of the associate producers for Lotro, they said that level 10s can earn gold and platinum medals too. So maybe it's going to be level based, and they'll just give you an option of gear and stuff that you can get based on your level. I think that's how it's going to play out. It'll be interesting once it goes live to see how it actually works. And they also talk about a bar that you get, and when you don't get medals, it sounds like you get points that go into your bar. And when you fill up, you can get a class-specific piece of jewelry or whatnot. So they weren't too clear on it, so that's something that we're definitely going to have to watch for when the expansion goes live. The next question that we have up here is, how many big battle instances will there be at Helm's Deep launch? How many of each group size? They go on to say there's going to be 8 total instances: Helm's Dyke, the Deeping Wall, the Deeping Comb, the Glittering Caves, and the Hornberg, all available on solo/duo. Tuned for 1 player, but allowing 2 in. The Glittering Caves will feature a 3-player size, Helm's Dyke a 6-player, and the Deeping Wall a 12-player.
Now, for as long as this expansion has been coming out, do you think 8 total new instances enough, considering it's been so long since they brought anything out?
It's a lot better compared to when Rohan came out. I think we're getting a little bit more as far as instances go. I know I read that these instances are all built separately. They're not just scaled like kind of how they did when they just scale up the older instances. These are built from scratch. So I think, yeah, I'm excited that there's going to be 8 total new instances, but yet again, these aren't going to be your traditional instances. These are going to be instances within the big battle system, the new system that they're using just for this expansion. So they definitely give you a lot of options as far as doing it solo and duo. I like that because those couple instances are made for solo, but you can do it as a duo team. So it definitely gives you a lot more options.
Next question goes on to say, can you explain exactly how they scaled up lower level players will interact in HD? They go on to say they'll be brought up to level 95 in stats. Their gear will also be brought up with level differential maintained. From there, they are free to engage in combat or utilize any of the mechanics within. They will likely be better at support style roles, but nothing prevents them from stepping out into the front line. The promotions advancement system is level agnostic, so they're free to rank up and get better at their various roles as they improve and level.
I know this is a very controversial thing that's being talked about right now. Starting from level 10, once you join this big battle system, they're going to be scaled up, and that goes that goes for their gear and their main stats. So it'll be interesting to see how well they're able to do a level 95 instance in this big battle system, being at such a low level but being brought up or
Yeah.
scaled up.
I'm going to have to say I don't agree with that, honestly. I do understand that what they have in mind, is to get people into the new content quickly and try and bring new people, maybe. But honestly, I don't. If you're level 95, you expect people to know how to play their class, and I'm not sure if at level 10 most people are able to play their class, like they would at 95, or I would hope they would at 95. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, that's why they said they're likely to be better in the support style roles within the instance. They can go out and do like the DPS and on the front lines and kill mobs and stuff, but they even say that they're probably not going to be the best at doing that since they're getting scaled up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it'll all pan out. But they're trying to link the lower levels with the end game, so I can kind of see the reason behind this. They're kind of giving content for all levels, which if you're level 10 is kind of nice. Next question on our list. With the class traits becoming skill trees, what will be happening to racial traits and virtues? And will legendary class traits also become part of the skill trees? Racial traits and virtues will not be fundamentally changed. Legendary class traits are part of the tree system now.
I'm just like, come on now. Just come on. I remember how hard it was to get, in Defense of Middle Earth for the captain, because back then getting the slime for Helm was just crazy ridiculous. And now it's kind of gone. Is that kind of what I'm led to believe? I mean,
Well,
I'm sure there's other
no.
classes out there. I mean,
They're
gonna
still
put it in the
there. Yeah, they're still going to be there.
Yeah, but like the
And-
whole like hours and hours I spent trying to get the slime and not dropping and this and that and
Well, now you can get your class items from Skirm Camp, but I don't think they're automatically going to give it to you in the tree. Is that what they're saying? They're just automatically going to give you the legendary class traits for the tree?
if you spec into them, look, I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Part of the skill trees, just spec into it.
Well, yeah, if that's the case, that is kind of crappy for some of the veteran players that actually had to grind for those legendary class traits. So yeah, I can see how you can be a little upset about that. I know that they're raising the virtues up 2 more points to
18.
18. All right, 18. So yeah.
Next question is about threat. What was the rationale behind the changes to the threat system? In what ways will it improve in the game? Horse Dev says, our threat system as it exists on live pre-U12 is largely invisible to players, and if you saw under the hood you would likely not be pleased. Rather than expose it and seeing as we were making fundamental changes to how the character builds function, choosing a tank specialization will give you a tangible amount of threat. We will still have force taunts, but whether or not something multiplies your damage, which differs from character to character, times a strange number modified by another strange number will be irrelevant.
See, that's kind of a scary answer to me. They actually say if you saw what the threat system was like right now, if we got to peek and look at the programming for it, we wouldn't be happy. They say that. That's kind of scary to me, a little bit.
I mean, this goes to the point of, are they reinventing the wheel? Are they fixing something that wasn't broke? Is it broke? I haven't seen a problem with it really in big raids or anything. If a tank knows how to keep threat, then the tank knows how to keep threat. I mean, I haven't really seen a problem, but yeah, I guess they did.
Well, we'll definitely have to get once the expansion goes live, we'll definitely have to get a tank on here and kind of talk about the new threat system. Will there be mounted combat instances with Helm's Deep or in the future? I know this was a big topic for everyone. They go on to say, this is something we've discussed, but currently there are no plans, I repeat, no plans for any mounted combat instances. So if you guys are hoping for some more mounted combat content, unfortunately, besides new warbands, we're not going to get any sort of mounted combat instances.
Now this to me is really disappointing, only because I mean, the whole last expansion, the Riders of Rohan was the big deal was the mounted combat. In fact, I remember all the hype and advertisement that went into it, saying, "Oh look, we are gonna get mounted combat." And now is it just poof gone? Like, I mean, maybe in the future they'll get some more, but what was the discussion that they had? Was it just like, "Oh, what about mounted combat?" Nah. Was that it, or are they gonna be like, "Oh yeah, perhaps maybe after we really get Helm's Deep locked down, we'll put some mounted combat in there"? The problems are just almost limitless with, rubber banding and just keeping. It's hard enough to get a raid together now and keep everybody in sync, and with everybody running around on a horse, like how much more difficult would that be? So I can see the problems, but completely doing away with it, it's kind of interesting.
Well, they're not necessarily doing away with it. They're going to be with the expansion with the regions and stuff. There's going to be warbands that go with that, new warbands for us to do, with our mounted combat. But yeah, I was a little disappointed too that they have yet to release any actual instances for mounted combat, especially since this is Rohan we're talking about here. Mounted combat was something that Lotro players have been waiting for, and it was very disappointed when they released it, and they don't deliver it yet again for the second half of Rohan. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It is disappointing.
Now, as I thought mounted combat was interesting, but at the same time, I would rather have new Helm's Deep instances and big battles and stuff rather than mounted combat. So, in a way, I'm kind of like that's fine, whatever. But at the same time, it's like why get rid of something? Not get rid of, but you could have done a little bit with it. But if they're putting all their effort into Helm's Deep, then are there plans to scale older raids as part of Helm's Deep, specifically Moria and Isengard? No, apparently. The instance designers have been completely focused on delivering Helm's Deep and big battles to the fullest scope and highest quality possible. So, all those great instances in Moria that were just amazing will not be scaled, but
This was another thing that was very disappointing. The Moria instances and the Lothlorien instances, personally I think those are the best instances in the game as far as the mechanics and just the general enjoyment that you get out of running them and the skill that it takes to run them. And it's really unfortunate that they're kind of leaving those in a level bracket that a lot of people just skip or just totally miss all these beautiful
yeah.
instances.
I mean, now you can just scrim all your way to 85. And so I'm sure you're going to be able
Scrim?
to big battle all the way to 95. So I mean, all that content could just be gone, not gone, but not even be used.
Even now, people just skip them, like you said. They just power level up to level 85 and just do the 85 instances. They really need, and I think they will. I think they will eventually scale these instances, but I think that's kind of their ace up their sleeve that they're saving for a rainy day.
Is it not a rainy day? Is everything going the way that they wanted it to go? I mean, there's talk of it dying. Is it? I mean, they said that they're trying to emphasize the most on HD, which is cool. That's fine and everything, but as long as it's taken, maybe they could have done it before, or maybe it'll become sooner than later.
They're just kind of waiting on how strong HD is delivered and what people think about it, and if they're putting all their focus on Helm's Deep and the big battle system, I think they're just going to wait and see if it's a success, and if it's not, then maybe, then they'll go back to the drawing board, hopefully scale up these awesome instances that we already have, and maybe, tweak their big battle instances. We're just going to have to wait and see how they are and how it all plays out.